Former Danity Kane member Dawn Richard just dropped a bombshell in court naming Usher and Ne-Yo in her explosive testimony against Diddy. And according to Dawn, both of them knew exactly what Diddy was doing to Cassie, and yet they never stepped in. Dawn Richard has revealed more disturbing details about the DV Cassie suffered at Diddy's hands, and she confirmed that a number of celebrities in Diddy's circle knew how Diddy was treating Cassie. Dawn first spoke in court on Friday, May 16th, and came back on Monday to continue her testimony, revealing that she witnessed Diddy attack Cassie at a restaurant in 2010. Dawn told the court she saw Diddy hit and punch Cassie in the stomach, while stars like Usher and Ne-Yo were around. According to Dawn, the incident happened in a private room where Diddy and Cassie were quietly arguing, and then he suddenly hit her in the stomach. She immediately bent over. He told her to leave, Dawn testified, adding, "No one intervened." Dawn said several celebrities were at that dinner, including Usher, Ne-Yo, music executive Jimmy Iovine, and a few others that she couldn't remember while testifying. But the incident didn't end there. After they left the restaurant, Dawn rode in a car with Cassie and Diddy, and that's when Cassie told Dawn she felt embarrassed, while also telling Diddy he shouldn't have acted like that in public. But according to Dawn, that's when Diddy exploded again and attacked Cassie a second time. He grabbed her by the neck and popped her, slapped her in the mouth, Dawn said, also adding that Diddy told Cassie to shut the F up. But that's not all. According to Dawn, Diddy would also tell Cassie that he owned her. Dawn also testified that she told Cassie to leave Diddy, but Cassie seemed torn, and Dawn said it was obvious she was afraid. "She would listen, but I could see the fear," Dawn said. But that wasn't the only disturbing incident Dawn witnessed. She also testified that she saw Diddy brutally attack Cassie in 2009 and hit her on the head with a skillet full of eggs. Dawn said she was in shock after witnessing the attack. However, Diddy warned her to stay quiet, and she took his warning as a direct threat to her life. Dawn told the court, "He said you could go missing, that we could die. I was shocked, but also scared. I couldn't believe this would be the beginning of a journey for us." Now going back to Usher and Ne-Yo, neither one of them has said anything publicly about Dawn's testimony. In fact, they haven't said a word about Diddy's whole legal mess, which only made fans more suspicious. In Usher's case, he's known Diddy since he was very young, and some even wonder if he went from being a victim to an accomplice, considering he's the one who brought Justin Bieber to Diddy. Back in 2016, Usher told Howard Stern about living with Diddy at age 13 at the so-called Puffy Flavor Camp, and he made it clear he would never let his own kids stay there.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
However, when Usher appeared on Club Shay Shay in February 2024, less than 3 months after Cassie's lawsuit, he totally flipped the story. And this time, he praised Diddy and said he was grateful for the experiences at Puffy Flavor Camp.
I don't think I would be the artist that I am today without the experiences that I had in New York City. That man helped me understand life. He helped me understand what it was to be an artist. He helped me understand what it was to be passionate about something. He helped me understand culture. He helped me understand business at a different level, because I'm seeing him go from his independence to then becoming Puff Daddy. You know what I'm saying? And I got a front row seat looking at that. Thank God that I had that experience, you know what I'm saying?
So naturally, this got fans speculating that Diddy is blackmailing Usher with something, and some even took it further and said Usher might have done something illegal that Diddy helped him cover up. One fan said, "Usher knows a lot, I mean a lot." And someone else added, "Usher is vile. He served young Justin up to the wolves on a platter. He should be charged too."
You gotta leave Diddy's party like that. You can't even sit down in the car. You got to drive all the way home, standing up.
Katt Williams just put a serious spotlight on Diddy's dirty secrets, and when Katt warned the world about Diddy's parties years ago, folks laughed. But now, the whole industry looking nervous. We got Homeland Security agents busting into Diddy's mansion like it's a war zone. But what's even crazier, Katt said he was offered $50 million by Diddy and turned it down 4 times just to stay quiet. He said no and lived to tell about it. So if you thought Katt was tripping back in that Club Shay Shay interview, just wait till you hear how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Because P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no.
That was Katt Williams years ago, throwing warning shots to anybody naive naive enough to think Diddy's so-called parties were just about music and bottles. And now, the entire courtroom's getting a front row seat to the madness. Katt's been trying to tell us for a minute, Diddy don't throw regular parties. Diddy tried to pay him $50 million to keep quiet. That's not chump change, that's hush money on demon time.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity.
And what exactly was Katt supposed to keep quiet about? The same dark voyeuristic freak-offs that Cassie's been testifying about in court. The same parties where men were allegedly pimped out to other men. Diddy's whole lifestyle might have been living in the dark while ruining everybody else's light. People who don't want to come out but still drag folks into their closet, that's where the real danger starts. So, when Homeland Security raided Diddy's homes in March 2024, what did they find? Disassembled AR-15s with serial numbers removed, 25 bottles of baby oil in just one closet, pink ecstasy pills, cocaine, ketamine, toys, condoms, and an entire freak-off starter kit. This wasn't no bachelor pad. This was a setup. Prosecutors claim Diddy ran a violent trafficking operation with voyeuristic orgies where he directed every detail like a movie director. And guess who was always in the middle of it? According to Cassie, it was Diddy, telling her how to dress, what to do, when to oil up her skin just right. Not for her, but for the guests. Now here's where it gets even darker. 2 male witnesses already testified in court that they were paid to sleep with Cassie while Diddy watched. One of them even described how Diddy directed their every move. If Diddy was just a passive observer, why was he controlling it like a freaky puppet master? Was this about power, control, or was it something deeper? This is where Katt's warning hits different. Because when a man hides his own truth but uses his money to exploit others, especially in violent setups, that ain't just dangerous, that's predatory. And DL men like Diddy are the most dangerous. They ruin lives trying to cover theirs. Katt also threw shade at the celebs who attended Diddy's parties thinking it was all good vibes. He roasted folks for being too naive, too thirsty for a cosign. But now every celeb that ever got spotted at one of those mansion gatherings, they sweating.
You know how many celebrities went to Diddy's house? Thinking they was finna dance?
The prosecution even brought in forensic psychologist Dr. Dawn Hughes, who testified about why Cassie stayed with Diddy despite the abuse. She said Diddy kept financial control, housing control, and psychological pressure. She also said what's happening fits the exact blueprint of trauma bonding, where the victim forms a twisted attachment to their abuser out of fear and survival instinct. So now y'all see what Katt meant when he said Diddy's parties ain't just parties, they were setups.